What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. So today is a video that I honestly was never really expecting to make, but I'm happy to be making it. So today we are going to be reviewing Under Armour's first ever, like, legit CrossFit shoe, a shoe basically made just for CrossFit, and that is the Tribase Rain. So I'm gonna be honest, when I first saw that this shoe came out, I wasn't really planning on getting it. I did like how it looked. The red one, the ones that I got, were definitely my favorite colorway, and I genuinely really like how these shoes look. But I've had Under Armour shoes before, and I've never been a huge fan of them, so I was just like, I doubt that they're gonna be that great. But actually, my friend Joel, who has a YouTube channel called As Many Reviews As Possible, he picked them up, and I really trust his opinion, and so he actually really liked them a lot. And I had debated for like 3 weeks about getting them, and then I finally was like, you know what, I really want to try these out. I haven't bought a pair of shoes in a long time, and it seems like these are legit. So I finally went out and got a pair, and I would say that the best way to describe this review is going to be pleasantly surprised. So the first thing that I noticed about the shoe is that they are very minimal. There's really not that much going on, especially on the upper. It's like basically like just two materials that are right here in the middle, are just kind of almost like welded together. But the materials both seem like they're really durable. Like they're like a ripstop material almost. And obviously, so when it comes to CrossFit shoes, what's really important is that you can lift in them. So you want them to be very stable. You want them to be agile, right? You want to be able to run in them, do burpees in them. And also you want them to be super durable, because when you're doing rope climbs and things like that, you don't want them to rip, obviously, with the things that we're doing. And I think that they nailed it on all three of those categories. So just starting from the top here, it is a very minimal shoe, like I said, and especially when you look around like the ankle collar here, there is no padding at all right there. It's just straight up just the material of the shoe. And if you were to compare that to the last shoe I reviewed, right, the Rich Froning RF1, it is like completely different. So the way I like to think of it is, when you look at the the Reebok RF1, the Rich Froning shoe, that would be like, say, like a Cadillac, like very big and bulky, but it'll get you there, it'll get the job done, it's very stable. When you look at like this, the Tribase Rain, I almost think of it as like a Mazda Miata. So it's like a little bit more agile, a little bit more small. They both have their own, they're gonna do well in certain things. But again, like, I really like this shoe, but it's just different than the RF1. And then if we're looking at the bottom of the shoe, this is where it gets like the Tribase name, because here at the toe, it has this different material right here. And then it has, what I really like is this part right here, right in the middle, because that bends really nice. And then you have this middle part, and then at the very bottom of the heel, you have the rubber is a lot more thick, so when you are lifting and stuff like that, it's gonna be more stable. So I like that with CrossFit shoes. I like when they are, you're not able to really bend them very much down here, but the toe will flex a lot. So when you are doing like burpees, which I actually really enjoy doing burpees in this, which is a weird thing to say, but they work really well for that. Running, all of that stuff, there's enough flexibility where it's not, terrible to run in them, but at the same time, they're still very stable, so you feel very confident lifting in them. Another thing that I really enjoyed about these is rope climbs in them. I did a workout that had about 10 rope climbs, and it kind of sucked because it was the very first workout that I did, and they just completely got the shoes super dirty, but they didn't ruin the shoes at all, so the shoes worked really well. And these, the outsole right here, how it comes up, that actually is super grippy on the rope. So I actually really enjoy doing rope climbs in these shoes, and I was pleasantly surprised with that, definitely with these shoes. And then another thing, with this rubber coming up here in the middle of the foot, kind of where your arch is gonna be, that's going to give you a little bit more stability with like medial movements if you're doing like, cuts and things like that, which is nice. But the one thing that is gonna be detrimental for a lot of people is that it makes the shoe, if you have a wide foot or maybe like collapsed arches, not gonna be that comfortable. So I have like a semi-wide foot. I wouldn't say that I have the widest foot in the world, but it's definitely on the wider side, and I can feel where this rubber comes up onto the shoe. I can feel that, and I can tell that my foot would like to go over that. So they're not gonna be the most comfortable shoe if you have a super wide foot. So if that is the case, these might not be for you. But I can say, as somebody that has a slightly wider foot, I don't have a narrow foot at all, they still work okay. Another thing that's gonna be kind of rough for a lot of people is that the insole on these shoes does not come out. And now for me, that was one of the main reasons why I actually didn't pick up the shoe right away, because you guys know I like to use these things a lot, which are Versalifts. I usually put these under the sole of my shoe that I'm using, and they just help with my ankle mobility, so they give me a little bit more range of motion. And so I was super worried that I wouldn't be able to use the VersaLifts in these shoes because there's no insole to put them under. But luckily, I talked to my friend, and he said that it should be fine with you just putting them over the insole and just stepping right on the VersaLifts, and that actually worked really well. It wasn't an issue at all. So luckily for me, putting just the VersaLifts in there works out fine. But if you're somebody that needs to have custom insoles in all your shoes, these are probably just not going to work because there's not going to be enough room. Your foot is going to be pressed up way too hard against the top of the shoe, you know, if you have another insole over the insole that's already inside there. So sadly, if you're somebody that needs extra insoles, these might not be the shoes for you. Personally, for me, I wear a size 9 in pretty much any shoe. These, same exact. I wouldn't really recommend going up or down a size. I think that they nailed the sizing on the shoes. And also, so if you're somebody that already has a couple CrossFit shoes, I would compare this more to like a Metcon 4 with how it fits than like a Nano 8. So it's gonna be, for me at least, the Metcon 4s are a lot more snug in that middle area of your foot, you know, where your arch is. But these do a lot better of having more room in the where your toes are. So I really like that. You guys know I'm not the biggest fan of the Metcon 4s. Everybody's different, but for me, I'm just not a huge fan. I like these because they're similar, kind of, but you have a little bit more room in your toes so you can move around a little bit more. But that's what I would say that they remind me the most of. So there you guys go. Like I said, I was pleasantly surprised. I am very, very happy that I got these shoes. I really think I'm going to be using them a lot. I really enjoy them. And honestly, for me, I like looks, and I think that personally for me, I really like how these look. So I love the red. I love how it looks in videos and how it looks in pictures. So I'm really happy with my purchase. And now, if you were maybe looking at this over, say, a Metcon 4 or a Nano 8, would I say get this over that? If you could find the Nano 8 on sale, then probably not. I would probably go with that still. Like personally, I think that that's probably a better shoe, all around CrossFit shoe. But say you already have those shoes and you just want something a little bit different, kind of, you know, where I was, I am really, really happy with this purchase. Or say you, I don't know, you don't like Nanos, you don't like Metcons, these are going to replace that for you. If you know, this is going to be a good all-around shoe, comparatively to the Nano 8, comparatively to the Metcon, these are right up there. And it's incredibly surprising considering this is Under Armour's first real attempt at making a CrossFit only shoe. So there you guys go. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Again, a short overview, super stable, nice to run in. I think they look pretty good. They seem pretty durable. So for me, I think they knocked it out of the park. I am very, very happy with these. I think that if you pick them up, you will also be happy with them. Again, unless you have a wider foot, then maybe avoid these. But all in all, I'm really liking these, and I would love to hear what you guys think if you have these or if you're thinking about getting these, if this kind of pushed you over the edge. But again, I want to say thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.